Big crowd on hand here tonight, as we've been telling you, and they've seen the majority of the show has been full of great racing, getting ready for the two main events, which are getting ready to get underway here shortly live on Speed. We hope you're enjoying our live coverage from the Georgia Dome. One of the riders we spent a lot of time talking about tonight in the Supercross Lights class, Matt Lemoyne, and he's the subject of our VIP Pit Pass.
Matt Lemoyne, number 41, and Star Racing Yamaha. If I had a stage name, my stage name would be Nighthawk. I wish I knew how to surf. My favorite movie is Step Brother. My favorite actor is Jim Carrey. To pass the time in airports, I just watch movies. I don't know, that's a hard one. My most embarrassing moment is I showed up to a local race one time, tried showing off a little bit, wheeling over tabletop, and actually looped out. People misunderstand me because I'm black in a white person's body. Biggest change from Matt Lemoyne from last year to this year is I'm going to be champion. I'm Matt Lemoyne, and that was your VIP Pit Pass.
A lot of great Supercross races coming your way. If you want to see Matt Lemoyne and the rest in action, here's our Toyota moving forward schedule. You can catch the re-air of tonight's broadcast tomorrow on Speed. You'll see that at noon. We're on to Indianapolis, a new building up there, that Lucas Oil Stadium. That's going to be awesome. Then the big speedway at Daytona. If you like sand racing with your Supercross, that's the place to be. And then back to the Superdome for the first time in a few years down in New Orleans. For tickets, go to supercrossonline.com. Get your tickets. Come join Jeff, me, and Aaron at the race. It should be a lot of fun. Well, tonight, it's Atlanta, Georgia. We're in the Georgia Dome here in the Peach State. Supercross is in the building. We're showing it to you live. Chance for you to win a 32-gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. And here's today's question. Who won the first Atlanta Supercross main? Was it Johnny O'Mara, Bob Hanna, Ricky Johnson, or Damon Bradshaw? To enter, either text your answer, number 1, 2, 3, or 4, to Speed 377-3333. Standard texting rates apply, or you can log on to speedtv.com, keyword SX. The winner will receive a 32-gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. Stay tuned to the end of tonight's show, and we'll give you the correct answer for our Speed Trivia Challenge. Good luck to you. I'm sure all those phones in that crowd texting like crazy right now, right? Well, one of the keys to winning in Supercross competition is having a good relationship as a rider with your trainer. We put together an interesting feature for you on that very subject.
Mentally, to get a rider ready for a race or for anything that they're going to do, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. You got to, build them up, confidence. There's a lot of guys, they struggle with their bikes in the beginning, especially in the beginning of the year. And for Davey, that's been a big problem. With a little bit of changes on the bike has helped his confidence up a lot. So that's a big part of it as well. It's a whole team effort.
With Johnny, he's one of my best friends, and it makes it really cool and easy to train with him because he knows when I'm not going to do it or when I don't need to do it or when I need to do it. To me, I feel really comfortable working with him just because I believe that he can get me to where I need to be.
Obviously, having a trainer and having him there and it's, all right, we got to do this, we got to do this. It's just someone pushing you into doing it, basically. And then once you're out there to do it, it's really not that bad. But it's actually getting up off the couch and getting out there and starting to do it is, I think, the toughest part for everybody.
Being a life coach isn't really one of my titles, but it's something that I try to do and just give my riders good advice. They're really successful at a young age, so it's hard to keep them grounded, to keep them focused right and what they should do.
I think just having been doing it for quite a while now, it's just looking for those little areas that I can make notes about and say, all right, that needs to be improved, whether it being, is it on the riding side that I've seen, or especially more the physical or just the way you conduct yourself as a champion.
He's my trainer, but I definitely feel like he's somebody besides a trainer to me, just as far as with life and everything. He's there every day and he's talking to me every day, and I think problems that you have at home, whether it's going out or whatever it is, he'll definitely be there for you, and I think that's the best part about it. He's not a trainer, he's everything. As far as the physical side, it's definitely just took my level up. I've always been in pretty good condition, and it's just like fine-tuning anything. He just helped me find some of the stuff I didn't know, and he's definitely elevated the sport.
It's a team deal, and I would say, you know, you through thick and thin, you got to be there. You know, there are going to be, it's a sport. There are going to be ups and downs. I mean, look what happened at A1. And it's how you bounce back and how your relationship and also the way you keep things floating is key.
Back inside the Georgia Dome. And you know, Jeff, if you're going to be a successful trainer to a champion at the Supercross level of competition, you have to be a lot more than just a guy who tells your rider how many push-ups he should do.
Well, yeah, you definitely become a life coach for the riders, but there's a tremendous amount of suffering that goes on through the strength training, the cardiovascular training, and the mind of the trainer helps you sort through that, makes you understand why you suffer, why you work as hard as you do, and helps you apply it on race day. And the good guys, they do a great job. And that, you know, that term life coach, it's very true because the riders are coming through at such a young age. They are an integral part.
And this is a part of the sport that's really evolved over the last few years, even since when you were riding.
Yeah. My last race was a decade ago. Trainers were just starting to come into the sport, but guys like Eldon Baker, Randy Lawrence, Johnny Louch, guys that we focused on, they have you know, been tremendous assets to their riders. They made a name for themselves, and they help these riders achieve their dreams. I mean, what more could you ask for?
And they truly are attached at the hip when it comes to getting their Supercross rider ready to go. Well, the pre-race show, you see it at every stop on the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Tour, and it truly is spectacular as they light up the sky before they drop the gate. We're going to have the main events for you when we come back to Georgia. Well, you know, we talked about the fact that we're racing in the Georgia Dome. Well, before this, they used to race over at Old Fulton County Stadium. This is back in 1990. That's a great Jeff Stanton leading. And Guy Cooper on the number 4 takes the lead, Jeff. And here, he's battling with Damon Bradshaw on the number 8.
Guy Cooper was in the mix all night long. He was giving it 100%. He had never won a Supercross main event, and at this point it looks like he has it, and then he stalls it with the lead.
And there goes Bradshaw by, and Rick Johnson on the number 13. Oh, and look at Mike Kudrowski. Gets into it there, takes Bradshaw out. And then here comes RJ on that number 13 as he gets around Cooper. And looming in the background, the flying freckle himself, Jeff Ward.
Jeff Ward. Cooper takes the lead, trying to win his first Supercross main event. Wardy is coming from way back.
Gets around Johnson, puts this move on Cooper, and Jeff Ward with a big win. I believe that was his 18th win, and it was on Cooper's birthday. Well, it's a freestyle show that takes place here during the intermission. That's Cowboy Kenny Bartram and some of his guys down there. They put on a great show each and every week. But some of the best action tonight came from the Supercross Lights class. That's going to be the first main event you're going to see here. So let's go back to Heat 1 and show you some of the highlights. As this one got underway, Jeff, of course, we spent a lot of time thinking about what Christophe Purcell would do tonight, but it began with Austin Stroop in Heat 1.
Yeah, it definitely was a rough first turn throughout all of the heat races. We've seen tons of carnage all the way through.
The sand as tricky as we thought it would be.
Yeah, very difficult section. Looked basic, swallowed up riders. Gerke tosses it away when he was in a qualifying position.
And meanwhile, Austin Stroop goes on to take the win in heat number 1. That takes us to heat number 2 and his teammate on that 377 machine, Christophe Purcell.
And if that looked like a perfect start for Christophe, it pretty much was. He didn't get to the first turn, but he certainly made it to the checkered flag. But it was Daniel Blair, Lieber, tons of guys getting stacked up.
Purcell first to the checkered flag, keeping his momentum going. And then, of course, we have the last chance qualifier, though. Fair amount of big names in this one.
But none bigger than Nico Izzy. It gets in there on the outside.
And it took a while to get that one going. Izzy took advantage of that restart during the red flag period, got in the gate, got a great hole shot, and takes the win. So now the main event is set for the lights. And who do you give the edge to? Do you go Stroop or do you go Purcell?
I got to be honest with you. I think it's the pro circuit riders. The guys are extremely fast tonight. Seems like they've been the only ones that have stayed out of trouble. We've seen a very difficult qualifying sessions all the way through. So the key is going to be the start, stay clean, because it's definitely the riders are really getting together through that second and third turn.
Well, we're working our way closer and closer to the dropping of the gate for the Supercross Lights East Coast main event. And here's one more look at the freestyle squad. When you come to a Monster Energy AMA Supercross event, you get to get those signs, and it's just like the pit boards that the mechanics hold out, and they make a lot of great messages for their favorite rider, and that's always one of the highlights of the pit party. But speaking of highlights, let's show you the highlights from the Supercross class earlier tonight, beginning with heat number 1, and this was a real key moment for Chad Reed.
Well, and it was key because he's been working on his starts. That has been his problem all year in the main events. Right here, Chad Reed executes a perfect start. And I also noticed number 2, Ryan Villapoto on the Kawasaki, who's been struggling with his starts. He was fast and he was solid. But for Chad Reed, this is the confidence builder that he needs going into the main event. So we'll see if he can transfer that into the main event. And Chad had the faster heat over James Stewart.
Now we move on to heat number 2, and that's where we got to look at James Stewart for the first time. And he answered the call, Jeff. He came right back at him.
Perfect execution of his start. Flawless laps. Does James Stewart have a little more gas in the tank? We know he turned 0.4 of a second faster lap time, but it was also Davey Millsap's working through.
But really, nobody had anything for Stewart in this one, so that sets us up for the main event in the Supercross class as Stewart goes on for his 8th straight win in a Supercross heat race, and Andrew Short just beating his Honda stablemate Kevin Windenbach as they battled over 4th place. Nick Way came into the main event by finishing 2nd in the last chance qualifier to Charles Summey, so the field is full there. Can Reed get Stewart tonight and stop this freight train?
I think Reed has a little bit of momentum going his way, but Stewart has been awesome. It's all going to be in the start, though.
It's all about the start, right? The start is the key.
That is the key tonight.
All right, which means you better hurry up, make that last dash to the fridge, and get back to the couch as quick as you can, because the Lights Riders are in the gate. The first main event, live from Atlanta, coming your way when we come back. Reads like a list of the sports crate champions: Carmichael, Stewart, Langston, and Reed. These men have carved their way into Supercross history. They come to Georgia with different goals. Kawasaki's Christophe Purcell. The Frenchman is looking to establish dominance and start the season with his 2nd victory. His teammate Austin Stroop has 1 career victory to his credit, but must charge to the front here in Atlanta as he pursues his 1st career championship. Suzuki's Nico Izzi comes to Atlanta, still in search of a 1st career race win. From Atlanta's Georgia Dome, round 2 of East Region Supercross Lights Racing starts right now. Back inside the Georgia Dome, Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. Getting ready to drop the gate on the main event, 2nd round of the Supercross Lights East Coast Championship season. Ralph Shaheen, Jeff Emig, and Aaron Bates with you. And Jeff, an interesting red clay circuit tonight.
Well, it definitely is, and the riders are out on their parade lap. They get a slow lap just before the drop of the main, and you can see tough rhythm sections. There's been a lot of riders go down here, so like I always say, get to the first turn first. You get a little bit luckier in the main event.
Well, let's head down to trackside and introduce you to Aaron Bates for a Progressive pre-race report.
The number 981 of Austin Stroop said he's absolutely thrilled to be back racing. He said it was nice to get the nervousness and the pressure of that first race in Houston out of the way. He said coming in here today, talk about pressure, 200 family members and friends here from North Carolina just to support. But the one thing that Jim Bacon of Pro Circuit Kawasaki did mention, he said that he's noticed the maturity that's come out of Austin. He's absolutely thrilled with his performance. In fact, he is the one and only rider who puts more test time and more test lap track at the test track than any other rider does.
Well, Austin's right in the middle of this championship chase, too. Remember, we've only had 1 round here. He finished 4th at Houston. So let's show you those Lights East points coming into Atlanta. Race won by Christophe Purcell, so he's got a 3-point lead over Brett Metcalf. He's not here tonight because he got hurt earlier today.
Yeah, so, I mean, Stroop, he's right in this. There's a long series right here. Another 7 races to go. A win will put him right back in the mix.
Well, earlier today, we had the opportunity to talk to some of the top competitors in the Lights East Coast Series about racing here today in this championship.
You got to look at it as the second round. You know, you already did the first one, so you got the nerves out and stuff. So just go in the second one, see how it goes.
But definitely the season's kicking off here, you know, because after this, we race every weekend after until the season's over. So Houston was good, just to kind of see where you're at and go home and kind of work on your weekend, on your weak points.
I think it's good to have it out of the way, but, you know, it lets you know where you're at. And I think it was cool to have a little break, and, you know, so it was good. And I think this is the beginning because we know we go 7 weeks. And so I think this is a start, and hopefully I'll start it out good.
And of course, they're all chasing that 377 of Christophe Purcell. There's his stats. Of course, he's had a very short career here in Supercross Lights competition. Jeff, he had a devastating crash almost 2 full seasons ago. And there were times when whether or not he would be winning wasn't even the question. Whether or not he'd ever ride again was more the question.
Yeah, there was actually, you know, some nerve damage, didn't have a lot of feeling in his leg, things like that. But he definitely came back, did all the hard work that is involved. And you can see by the stats that we just showed you that in Lights Supercross, he is a natural. There's only 1 race that he finished outside of the podium, and that's because he he had a little wrist injury just before that week.
French rider looking for another win here tonight. Okay, 20 riders for 15 laps. Stroop and Purcell, the 2 Monster Energy Pro Circuit riders, swept the heats. Nico Izzi took the LCQ for the Factory Suzuki Group. Last year was Trey Kennard, who this season is running on the West Coast Championship. That was a winner. Trey went on to great things, taking the East Coast title.
Well, and it can happen just that easy. We have a stacked field. We have an excited crowd here in the Georgia Dome. We have some hungry riders that really want to knock Purcell off the top. A number of riders, whether it's Lemoyne, Gerke, Stroop, you know, Wharton, these riders are really looking to take that checkered flag.
There's the Yamaha starting lineup across the top of your screen. She's got the 30-second board. The crowd is pumped up and ready to go. Nico Izzi's going to be all the way on the far side, Jeff.
Way out here.
There you see the number 20.
Let's see just how good those start skills are from Nico Izzi, because he's going to need it now from way on the right. But he does have a chance. He can get the whole shot from way out there.
Here we go. Main event time from Atlanta. Izzi with a great start, but it's Stroop who's going to get the whole shot. And there's Purcell right with him in second place. Izzi jumps through the sky in third.
Great start for both of the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki riders. Phenomenal start from Nico Izzi to rebound from that bad gate pick way on the right. Davalos just behind them, followed by Lemoyne.
Davalos on the KTM, the orange bike right behind Izzi. There you see that Rockstar Makita Suzuki rider. The 41 is Lemoyne. He rides back in 5th.
Will Hahn just behind Lemoyne. So we've set the field. The top 5 is lined up.
Oh boy, Izzi
all
struggled
of our favorites.
Izzi really struggled in that sand section, that first corner. Now he gets some momentum going again, trying to make up for some of that lost time. There you see Martin Davalos behind him. He's won in Lights competition in the past. Can he do it again here tonight? Well, he's making up some ground through that rhythm section, Jeff.
Definitely is, and you can see as they come through this whoop section, which has taken so many riders out throughout qualifying practice, gave the riders fits throughout the actual qualifying heats, but now in the main event, the riders have found the line.
I thought Davalos was going to take him through that rhythm section. He really came up alongside of Izzi.
And watch the mouthful of sand that Davalos is going to get. Such a difficult section. You see just out of your screen, just in front of the 20, is Christophe Purcell, and Austin Stroop is out front Austin Stroop turned a 49.7 that last lap around. Porcel a 51.4, same for Izzy. So Austin Stroop absolutely setting a blistering pace here. This rider wants it.
As we watch, oh, Izzy comes up real short on that jump. Here is Purcell going past you.
Whoa, Izzy gets a little hop through there. You don't want to get that hop and get the front wheel down. That's when you go over the bars. Izzy really trying to work hard here. Keep the bike on two wheels. He's had such a challenging night for this young man, but he definitely has weathered the storm. Now he's in a podium position here, although there's quite a few laps left in this Lights main event.
Izzy was third at Houston. Remember, Metcalf not making the main because he got injured earlier today in practice. He was second. Porcel with the win, and Stroop was fourth. And here's Stroop now leading, so things can shift around a little bit in the points if Stroop can hold on for the win here tonight.
Well, and Aaron mentioned the hard work that Austin Stroop puts in out at the test track, does more laps than anyone. Now this is where it pays off.
Let's go back and take a look at that whole shot replay.
And watch the middle right there. It is just shot out of a cannon. Austin Stroop to the line. You see the fireworks going off. And he manages to keep it just inside there, as Lemoyne had a pretty good run there on the left side, the inside.
Spoke some with Mitch Payton, who runs that Pro Circuit Monster Energy team. And Jeff, we've talked about in the past how Mitch is really a champion maker. He finds guys, whether anybody else thinks they can win a title or not, and turns them into champions. And he's on his way to doing that again with the East and the West Coast Championship titles. Porcel and Stroop here, and he's got Weimer doing so well in the West Coast Championship right now.
Well, and it's because of the type of bikes that Mitch puts together, and he attracts the talent, no doubt about it.
Here's that battle for fourth. Davalos, Lemoyne.
Oh, Lemoyne on the edge.
Look out. He was awful close to the tough blocks, riding alongside of him, just not over him. And that gave Will Hahn on that 50 an opportunity to close in.
Well, and his feet were off the pegs long before he even touched the tough blocks. That was a great piece of riding for Matt Lemoyne.
Will Hahn on the Muscle Milk MDK KTM.
Teammates of Davalos, so right now they've got Lemoyne here sandwiched in between the Muscle Milk guys.
Lemoyne having a pretty good run. Much better than he did at Houston, where he was 18th. Tonight, 5th.
Well, and he is an interesting character, great personality. We saw a little glimpse of that in our VIP pit pass. But no better place to see a rider's personality than actually on the racetrack to really show you what they're made of.
Past the mechanics area. Jeff, you just get a blink of an eye when you go past that mechanics area. And in a night like tonight, you're also focusing on the next corner because you have the bike leaned over, sliding through there almost dirt track style. Do you really get much of a look at the signboard?
Sometimes. Sometimes you look at it, and sometimes you're too focused on what you're doing, and it really doesn't matter. But the mechanics are going to put, positive things on the board, encouragement, give you your lap times possibly. Let you know, who's in front of you, who is behind you, possibly. Whatever information the mechanic thinks that you need, that's what he's going to put on the board.
That was the 74, Brandon Jessamine. He's fighting over 7th, which he holds right now. He's trying to keep Blake Wharton on the 61 behind him. And for Wharton, Jeff, a 5th at Houston. And if he can finish in the top 10 again here tonight, what a great way to begin his rookie season in Lights.
Well, and it is. Wharton, he's the rookie. We're looking at Jessamine here, who's had so many great races on the Arena Cross circuit. East Coast champion here before, has won main events in this class. This year he's been struggling a little bit, but now he's making the move. He takes Will Hahn.
Yep, gets to the inside of Will Hahn, so that'll move him up at least into 6th position.
And I got to think that Will Hahn got caught up with that lapped rider. I'm not really sure who that was, but Will Hahn really lost his drive and then lost a position. And now he's got Wharton breathing down his neck. But Hahn,
look at how Hahn came back. He just grabbed a handful of throttle and he went over that triple jump.
Yeah, that's a difficult triple through that rhythm section. You see the riders really bouncing through the whoops too. Will Hahn having a real problem after he executed the rhythm section perfectly, just could not get that KTM through the whoops.
And here's Wharton to the inside, and and Blake Wharton picks up another position. So Wharton now moves up to 7.
And I'm telling you, that was a great piece of riding by Wharton as he was on the inside. Made the turn perfectly and still nailed the triple from the inside, which is so difficult on these lights machine. Wharton on the gas. No nerves for him.
There's a huge rut developing, too, coming out of that last corner after the finish line jump.
Yeah, as they go to the inside, and as that rut gets deeper, that outside, if you can come from the outside and square it around, is an excellent passing position. We'll see how it shapes up with 7 to go here in the main event from Atlanta.
Lemoyne, Jessamine, Wharton, and Hahn. Lemoyne holds down 5th. These 4 riders continue to battle as they're past the halfway point. Here comes Wharton, going after Jessamine to the inside, just can't get it done.
Same spot, couldn't nail the triple. Jessamine held that middle.
Oh, and our leader's down. For Stroop. Stroop has stalled the bike, and that's going to put Purcell into the lead. What a tough break for Austin Stroop. Jeff, that is right in that corner after the finish line jump.
There he gets it started. Here's the replay. Stroop coming across the finish line with the lead. Very comfortable. Gets into the rut, and there's a jump right here. There's a jump. He comes over that and stalls the engine. Now he very patiently tries to kickstart it, but these race bikes, these 250cc 4-strokes are very temperamental when they get hot.
Christoph Purcell on the number 377 Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki leading here as we're past the halfway point. And the Supercross Lights East Coast Regional round number 2. Taking over the lead when his teammate stalls his bike. Izzy now up to 2nd, Lemoyne to 3rd, Davalos to 4th, Jessamine to 5th. Stroop, who had this one comfortably taken care of, drops all the way back to 8th.
That is going to be so frustrating for Austin Stroop. He makes just a little mistake, not a major mistake, a little mistake that cost him the win. With a little less than 5 laps to go, it's going to be very tough for anyone to get past Purcell, who's 7 seconds out. But as you can see, Purcell getting into the lapped riders.
And you saw one go down right in front of him.
That was Durham that went down in the sand section. Had Durham fell to the left, he possibly would have fallen in Purcell's path. So Purcell, a veteran, he knows how to get through this, but it is a very difficult track here tonight.
Davalos and Lemoyne running here in the fight for 3rd. Davalos on the 577, the KTM, the orange bike.
So Davalos has worked his way up, and this is where you start getting the signs when you come through the mechanics area on the pit board. They're going to let you know who's there. And who's that? Jessamine to the inside.
Yep, and he's going to squeeze his way past Lemoyne, and Wharton comes him blasted through the whoops. He's going to try to get both of them. He gets pushed to the outside as he goes through the mechanics area. What a great battle these guys have been having here tonight. Here comes Wharton, this time to the inside, and he's going to square him up and take the position away.
And still nails the triple.
Very nice ride by Blake Wharton tonight.
He is on fire right now.
This could be his 2nd top 5 finish of his rookie season in lights.
And as they come past the stripe, Will Hahn, Jessamine, and Wharton, all 3 get past Lemoyne, so Lemoyne drops 3 positions, on that 1 lap. That is frustrating for a rider.
And Stroop mired back in 8th place now. Look at the fight through the rhythm section. Boy, this one has changed virtually every corner. This racetrack, as you said, Jeff, so challenging here tonight. Here comes Davalos going by some of the slower traffic, dealing with the 304 of Bradley Ripple. And that's going to be one of the big keys here in the closing stages with 3 to go. It's clearing that lap traffic.
As we take a look at Davalos here on that Muscle Milk KTM, he's going to have his hands full with the rookie.
Wharton's got him. Wharton's going to come through. He bobbled in the sand, and here comes Blake Wharton. Davalos looks as they sky over the finish jump, and he just gets enough traction off that final corner to power himself back into the lead of that spot. But Jeff, I'm not sure it's going to last. Here comes Blake Wharton again. Squares him up. Can he get the position? They're bar to bar through the rhythm section again. Wharton should have the advantage of the corner. Davalos back to the inside. inside, through the whoops, and put Blake Wharton up to another spot, up to third.
What an incredible battle we had for the final podium position. It looked like Davalos had a nice, comfortable spot. Wharton absolutely on the gas and comfortable.
He bobbled right there. Wharton cannot relax though, Jeff. He lit a little bobble right there as we're on the final lap now with Purcell across the finish line jump.
Wharton, this rookie rider has absolutely maxed out his heart rate. He has went for it. It looked like a seasoned veteran coming through these riders. Just an incredible effort. And I'm telling you, his line choice and his racing savvy, his racing mind is so impressive. What he's done and how calm he has stayed in a situation that just, I mean, it's tense.
Dealing with some of the best lights riders in the world, and he's not afraid to go after him. Wharton trying to hold on for a third. Purcell with the lead on the final lap. Izzy running in second while Wharton and Davalos battle for the final podium spot. Here's Purcell. Final corner. Christophe Purcell 2 for 2 as he takes the checkered flag here in Atlanta. Nico Izzy's going to make his way, try to take second, and he does. Wharton's going to take third. No, he's not. Davalos is just going to beat him at the line. And Jessamine and Hahn will finish out the top 5 and 6 as Stroop finishes in 7th. What a tough break for Wharton.
Wow, that was crazy. That was awesome. What a ride for Christophe Purcell.
What an unfortunate
Steady
break.
And smart, wow.
What an unfortunate break for our 7th place finisher, Austin Stroop.
Yeah. Get a little lucky, look at that. All the praise from his teammates, close friends. He's getting comfortable up here, top of the podium.
Christophe Purcell takes the win, his 2nd in a row, and extends his points lead. French rider bouncing back from a horrendous crash, rehabs himself, gets back on the bike, and now leads the points in the Supercross Lights East Coast Championship. Austin Stroop, what could have been. Purcell, what it is. Well, a wild Supercross Lights East Coast round number 2 brought this crowd to its feet. We still got the main event for Supercross yet to go here tonight. Here's a look at the results, and Christophe Purcell at the top of the board once again. Maybe the highlight of the night, though, is Nico Izzy had to fight his way through the last chance qualifier to finish 2nd in the main event.
Yeah, and then just behind them, Davalos and Wharton just absolutely giving it 110% all the way to the finish, with Davalos managing to capture that final spot on the podium with a pass with 2 turns to go. Well, incredible depth there.
And the heartbreak has to go to Austin Stroop.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That one cost a big bonus also.
Let's go to the victory podium. Here's Aaron.
Martin Davalos definitely had some company on his hands with a rookie out there, Blake Wharton. But Martin, when you came up to the podium, you're almost looking a little bit frustrated with your performance this evening.
Well, yeah, my race wasn't the best. You know, I got a great start. You know, I took advantage of it. I made a lot of mistakes actually out there. I think I was thinking too much, and you know, then I got caught up with Matt Lemoyne, and then Blake got behind us, and you know, he was riding a strong race. Went by me, I made a mistake. I just wanted to stay behind him. I knew we had only 3 laps to go, or 2, and I was just waiting for his mistake. I took advantage of his lap over there, and you know, I got me in 3rd, so I'm really happy.
Congratulations on making it up to the podium the first time this season.
So Martin makes his way over to do some interviews now for the crowd here in the audience. Of course, we're going to march all the way to Las Vegas. That's what the Supercross Tour does. Begins in Anaheim, finishes in Las Vegas. And for the Lights riders, that's where we have the East-West shootout. The only time all season the 2 different regions get together.
That's going to be awesome.
Oh, what a field we're going to have there this year.
It's the Lights is very competitive on both coasts this year. It is really talented riders.
Well, look how good the points are. Izzy fighting up for that 2nd place finish here tonight. Puts him only 8 markers behind Christophe Purcell, Aaron.
Talk about a hard charge by Nico Izzy today. Right before he went out for his race, he said, man, this day is rough, to say the least. Niga, are you pretty pumped and excited with how the outcome of your performance was this evening?
Yeah, I really turned it around, and the way it started out was a bad day. Second practice, had a really hard crash. And then in the heat race, somebody landed on me, and I had a good LCQ. So to turn it around and get a good start and come out the second, it's not too bad. I'm just going to keep fighting for that win, and hopefully we come back strong next weekend and have another good finish.
Congratulations. A long, hard day, but it definitely paid off.
SpeedTV.com has the most comprehensive AMA racing coverage with expert analysis, videos, results, and news stories posted as soon as they become available. No one covers AMA racing better than SpeedTV.com. Go now and enter keyword AMA. And Jeff, if you go there right now, there's a live chat going on SpeedTV.com about tonight's race here in Atlanta. We got the whole thing covered for you.
I could go on my phone right now.
Yeah, well, wouldn't be the first time. Let's go back to Aaron.
A wild ride tonight for Christophe Purcell. A little bit of a gift handed to you when your teammate Austin Stroop went down. Did you know what was going on at that point that you'd taken over the lead?
Yeah, it was fast all the day, and he got some good lane over there. He made a trap that I cannot make. That was pretty dangerous, and I'm on the championship, so I don't know. He got a mistake. I was pretty good behind to catch him, but my bike was really good, my Kawasaki bike, and it wasn't easy on that track. I just gave my best. I was sick all the week, so I'm happy to win that race.
Congratulations on your second victory this season.
Here's the checkered flag, and Purcell trying to do something like the great Grant Langston.
Yeah,
foreign rider
win the world championship,
win the championship.
Come over, sweep everything here in the U.S.
Langston literally won everything you can win on a lights bike.
Yep.
Time now for the Speed Trivia Challenge, a chance for you to win a 32-gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. Here's today's question. Who won the first Atlanta Supercross main? Was it the Osho, the Hurricane, RJ, or the Beast from the Southeast?
I know.
I figured you probably did. To enter either text or answer number 1, 2, 3, or 4 to Speed 377-3333. Standard texting rates apply, or you can log on to SpeedTV.com, keyword SX. The winner will receive a 32-gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. Stay tuned at the end of tonight's show, and we'll give you the correct answer to our Speed Trivia Challenge. All right, Jeff, you're going to have that chat on the SpeedTV.com website here because we got a main event coming up. And can anybody beat James Stewart? And look who is right next to him.
That's a challenge. Throwing down the gauntlet right now. I'm going to start right next to you, and I'm going to show you that I can beat you the first turn.
They are some of the best riders in the world. Josh Grant, who won the season opener in Anaheim. James Stewart, 6 in a row. Going for his second championship. Davey Millsaps won this race just a year ago, the Honda rider. Feeling some good momentum here. Brian Villapoto, the fast up-and-comer, looking for his career first Supercross win. And Chad Reed, the two-time champ, the reigning champ, won his heat. Can he win his first main? We'll have it when we come back. Atlanta, Georgia, the Peach State. Tonight, it's the home of Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. A lot of good race fans here in the Atlanta area. They get a wide variety of racing down here between NASCAR, the NHRA, AMA Superbike, and lots of great road racing. But tonight, it's all about Supercross. Let's check in with Aaron Bates for Progressive Pre-Race Report.
The number 29 of Andrew Short might be quiet and reserved off the track, but he's definitely aggressive while on the track. He's got himself 2 podium finishes so far this season, but he said this is where you really want to keep your eye out for Andrew Short, is when he really turns it on. He's switched up his training program this season with Jeff Spencer, and he's got some reserves left in the tank. He said at this point of the season, riders start to burn out, but this is where Andrew Short says he's going to be digging extremely deep.
Well, he could be a player. Of course, a lot's going to have to happen between these two. And look at the difference here, Jeff. Stewart kind of up, looking out, and look at Reed. Just how he was before the start of the heat. And then look at the difference between where they've been at the average position at the end of lap 1.
Yeah, this has been the difference here, this 5.43 for Reed. But he showed some excellent technique in his heat race. He's lined up just to the inside of James Stewart. That's exactly where I would want to be, because if you control the inside, you control the first turn.
20 riders will be in the gate for 20 laps. Reed and Stewart, the 2 heat race winners. Charles Summey took the checkered flag in the LCQ. But Stewart fastest qualifier, and of course, Davey Millsap's last year's winner here. The thing about Stewart, Jeff, he had a crash earlier today in the sand section. But when he stays upright in a main event, he's unbeatable, literally.
Literally.
100%.
So let's see. Well, we're missing a rider.
There he is. Millsaps next to Villapoto and Tedesco. Hustling to get ready.
Gets that bike fired up. Might have just had to adjust something in his boot or something like that. And, you know, now he's back on the bike. This is it. Stewart, Reed, they all go through their pre-race rituals. Chad Reed always does the same thing, claps his hand. James Stewart always throws his right hand up. I had my ritual, and this is where the funnel starts. You start to focus your funnel down to the drop of the gate. Here we go.
It's all about the start. Going to get the start.
Number 7, James Stewart.
Of course, he's going to get the whole shot. Michael Lessie trying to come along with him. Brock Hepler on that number 60 Yamaha. Where's Reed? He's about 8 positions back. You can see him buried in the pack. A terrible start for him. Not what he was looking for.
Villapoto in 3rd. Grant running 5th. Then Millsaps, and then our reigning champ, Chad Reed.
Here comes Villapoto trying to find his way around Brock Hepler. Remember, Hepler made his return to the series a week ago in San Diego. Crashed hard. Here comes Villapoto trying to get to the inside. Gets the door shut on him.
How about James Stewart? So focused out front. Nabbed the start once again.
Boy, Villapoto's trying to get around Hepler as quick as he can. To the inside. Could that be where he needs it? No. Gets bogged down again. And all of that time, he's struggling to get around Hepler. Gapping the field is James Stewart.
Hepler, what a great start here. Coming back after that frustrating crash last week in San Diego. Let's see if he can hold on for a full 20 laps.
Jeff, Chad Reed is up to 4th. You're going to see him right behind Villapoto. There he is. He's got Millsaps and Alessi and Short chasing him. There's the Australian, the 2-time champion, Chad Reed. Millsaps looking pretty strong too. Davey late to the line, but quick out of the gate.
Well, Davey Millsaps, a Georgia native, you know, he wants to do good in front of all the family and friends that are here. All the friends that he grew up racing with. The Chad Reed really showing us a sense of urgency. Reed to the outside, Millsaps to the inside.
Oh boy, that
almost touched.
That almost cost him too. How stunned are you in the fact that Villapoto has not disposed of Hepler yet?
Well, Hepler shows some serious speed. I mean, he's a very talented rider. What is going to come into play here later on is his endurance as we get deeper into the laps here, because Hepler hasn't been racing, and it's very tough to come back and to have your stamina up for the 20-lap mains. Even though you can practice it at home, you just can't. It just is not the same as being out there racing because of the intensity. But look how close they are to James Stewart. Hepler's right there.
Yeah, he's only 1.8 seconds back.
3 laps in.
Yeah, it just dropped to 2.2, but that's still very impressive. We saw Stewart win his heat race by 11 seconds.
Well, right now, this is going to be a difficult track. It's starting to deteriorate. The whoops and the rhythm sections, which are so tricky, that's where they start to get rutted. See Chad Reed nailing the triple in the middle of this rhythm, but Chad Reed really excels through the whoops. This is where he has to pour it on and try to find a line past Villapoto.
Reed closing in on Villapoto. Here he comes through the rhythm section. He's side by side, bar to bar with the number 2. Can he get him in the corner? No, but he gets a good drive off of it. Flies through the air over the big triple jump into the sand section. Gets bogged down there as they come over the Dragon's back. Boy, he made a great run through the rhythm section, and then the sand just killed his momentum.
Well, he tried a new line, and oh, he almost stalled it. Reed almost goes down. That allows Davey Millsaps to apply some pressure. That is not what Chad Reed needs if he wants to retain the points lead leaving Atlanta. He needs first place. He needs to get past Stewart.
Chad Reed said he loves racing in these football stadiums because those 180 corners, and he's right in the middle of a battle for a podium spot. There are really 3 riders fighting over second place, which is held by Brock Hepler on that number 60 Yamaha right now. Ryan Villapoto chasing him on the Kawasaki. And you can almost include Davey Millsaps on the Honda in that fight. The problem for Reed when it comes to battling for second is that's what it seems to be that he's doing every week. He's been second every race, but the first one where he finished third behind Josh Grant, the race winner.
Well, and he was running second when he went down, when he hit the back of Stewart there, and both riders went down. But very impressive ride here for Brock Kepler. Great ride also for Villapoto. As we're on the 6th lap of 20 here, and they're turning some impressive lap times. Stewart last time around was a 48.3. Kepler just second off.
Boy, Villapoto really closed in through the whoops that time. Maybe we're starting to see that endurance level closing in for Hepler, because here comes Villapoto charging hard.
Well, seeing Villapoto couldn't do that on-off. That's going to allow Reed actually to close right up on the back. You see this time, Reed just follows right in line, just gets a mouthful of that sand, but he doesn't lose much time as when he tried to, oh, and Reed almost jumps off the side of the finish line jump. So close. If he gets the back tire up on that tough block and it goes to the left, Reed is down.
That would have been devastating towards his championship hopes. Villapoto trying to fight his way through, trying to get around Brock Kepler. Let's go back and watch what happened to Reed here, Jeff, and how close he came to a total disaster.
And he was just out of the top of our screen real time, but watch here. Yellow bike there, number 1. He jumps. You see him put his right foot up because he knows he's too far to the right. Wow. I'm telling you, Ralph, that was so close. I mean, a millimeter to the left, and the rear wheel would have kicked out. Could have been disastrous for this night and possibly the championship, but got a little lucky right there. That's what Chad Reed has needed all throughout this championship, was to be a little luckier than what he's been. He's been solid, he's been fast, he's been strong.
Well, as you watch him high above in our RoboCam from the ceiling of the Georgia Dome, Kepler, Villapoto, and Reed, 3-rider battle for second. Brock Kepler, named after the great Brock Glover, who's here tonight.
A number of Supercross greats are in the house here tonight, of course. Even some of the Georgia natives, Billy Lyles, Keith Turpin, going way back there. Great to see those guys here attending.
Johnny O'Mara's here.
John's here. Yeah, most of these guys are attending with their kids now, you know.
And this fight for second continues, and it's a good one. Over the finish line jump, they're now 9.7 seconds behind Stewart, but the battle between these three is as tight as you can get, and Millsap's trying to make it a 4-way fight.
Well, and you can see Brock Kepler really has the rhythm right now. Villapoto tries to get up the inside. Can Kepler? No! Kepler leaves the door open.
And that's going to give Villapoto the look he was hoping for. He's right there with him. Can he finish him off in the next corner? Yes, and Reed slides through as well. He'll take over 3rd place.
Listen to the crowd here in the Georgia Dome. They're liking this battle for 2nd place.
Now, can Villapoto and Reed try to click off some of the time between them and Stewart?
Gonna be tough. Stewart is flying right now. 49-second lap time. Villapoto and Reed were at a 50, but they were also following Kepler, who was at a 50, so that lap around, Villapoto and Reed dipping down into the 49, but they're going to have to pick it up if they're going to catch our leader, James Stewart.
They are 11 seconds behind James Stewart right now. There he is, James Stewart, going for his 7th win in a row. He has won every round this year except for the season opener in Anaheim. He was leading there when he got into a crash with Chad Reed. They were running 1 and 2, going into the whoop section. They got together. They both went down. Stewart was knocked out of the race. Reed continued to finish 3rd. If he's able to hold on here tonight and take the win, it would break the tie, top the points, and solidly give it to Stewart.
Stewart just so connected with his machine at this point. I talked about it last week, but he rides qualifying practice, he rides his heat. Now once again, he's riding the main on his terms, 100% of the day on his terms. What Chad Reed and the other riders have to do is try to stand in Stewart's way by taking him out of that. When Stewart starts first in the main event, first in his heats, it just allows him to get away. So,
but look at the pressure Reed's putting on Villapoto.
Well, and this is a great ride for Villapoto, who just
boy, big mistake there, Jeff. That could have cost him. Here comes Reed. He's got him. Jumps past him to take second place. And a rider down in front of him, the other end of the sand section. Here comes Villapoto back. Oh, that slower rider gets in the way of Reed. And it costs Reed the spot.
Chad Reed works so hard to get past Villapoto, takes advantage of the mistake, and then a lapped rider gets in the way.
Was that Matt Bonney?
We'll take another look here as they come through the sand section. That's the Hart and Huntington. That's Adams.
Yeah, and he 59.
Yeah, and Adams tried to go to the right, which that was the right thing for him to do. But Chad Reed guessed right.
Here he comes again. Reed back. Got the spot away. Boy, how quick he can turn.
Chad Reed, he's on fire right now. He knows that he has to keep this championship close. He has to give it 110% every lap through. Now let's see if Chad Reed can make a dent in this points, or in this lead, which is 13.8 seconds that James Stewart has. 8 laps to go.
Yamaha trying to go undefeated in this season. 8 races, 8 wins. Going back a little deeper, this is a fight between Hepler and Short over 4th. Brock Hepler in blue on the number 60 has the spot right now.
Well, Hepler really has put in a great ride. He's been very solid right now, running 4th. Another Yamaha rider there, 33, Josh Grant, riding for Gibbs Racing. They had a busload of people from the race shop down here supporting this team.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them that made the trip down from Charlotte to come enjoy the Supercross competition and cheer on their teammates here tonight.
Whoa,
Grant! Big problem.
What a shot from the overhead camera. Managed to keep it on 2 wheels there in the sand section. And that's what's so tricky about that. You have the sand and then the dragon's back and then more sand. So it's unstable. There's not traction. That's what makes it so tough for these riders to maneuver the bikes through.
Grant trying to get himself back in the top 5. Remember, he's been in the top 5 each and every round except for San Diego. Right now, he's fighting over 6th with Millsaps.
And look who's just behind Grant. Ivan Tedesco putting on another strong ride. Not quite the starts that he was throwing down earlier this year. Oh, here's Grant.
He's going to get 6th away from Millsaps at the corner. Now he's got to go chase down Andrew Short. But look at Tedesco. He's going to get a position away from Millsaps, too.
Ivan Tedesco, just an excellent piece of work there as he took advantage of Millsaps being pushed to the outside and just really followed right in behind Grant and took that inside line away from Millsaps.
Millsaps was late getting to the line, Jeff. Looked maybe a little out of his game. Struggled to get there. Then got a great start. Now he's kind of dripping back a little bit. Here's Short and Hepler. This is a fight for 4th.
Short to the inside.
That'll give him the position. He's going to take it in front of the mechanics area. So now Hepler drops back to 5th, and that's right where Grant wants to be to get back on track in those top 5 finishes.
Yeah, and this is a great ride for Hepler. He might have just got past, gave up 4th, but you got to remember where he's starting from this season. Coming off a couple of really bad injuries, a crash last week. A top 5 in the main event tonight for Hepler is going to be like a win. So he has to control his heart rate, keep his cool, not make any mistakes.
Aaron, it's been a tremendous ride by Brock Hepler tonight.
Definitely a hard charge by Brock Hepler. He did have his x-rays and there was nothing broken and he wasn't able to ride it all this week. But the one thing that he did say to me is he is hoping and praying that this track that is known for getting so rutted won't get too rutted because it will affect his wrist. He said it still is pretty sore and it makes it very difficult to hold on, especially for 20 solid laps.
But Jeff, he looks very solid through those whoops. I mean, he really is able to keep his body position nice, straight. I mean, that's a sign that everything is working for him physically, I would think.
Yeah, he's putting in a fine ride here tonight, but like you said, the wrist is weak. He has to minimize the mistakes. No coming up short on the jumps, no casing stuff. See, right there came up a little short. That's when the pain starts to come through the wrist.
Well, now Grant is starting to reel him in. That's going to be that battle for 5th to see if Grant can get back on a streak of being in the top 5. Well, there he is, James Stewart, our race leader. If he can hold on to take this win for Yamaha, it would break a tie between Yamaha and Honda with the most wins here in Atlanta at 10.
Watch the gate drop, Ralph. Look how late Chad Reed is compared to James Stewart. Oh, split second, but it was a half a bike length off of the gate. You see Hill on the inside. He jumped the gate, got caught in it. And look right there, Stewart out front by himself. Chad Reed buried on the inside, mid-pack across the line. I mean,
that's the story.
He gave it up. That's it. I think Chad Reed's strong enough. I think he's fast enough, but he has to get out front.
There's Matt Bonney on the 54. Stewart alongside of him. Oh, Tedesco and Grant go down in the sand section.
Uh-oh, the sand bit two riders that were inside of the top 10. Here we go.
This was for fifth with Hepler. Oh, Tedesco just landed on him.
That was bad judgment. Hepler was in line. Grant decided not to jump the Dragon's back. Tedesco still went for it and was just directly in the line of Grant and landed right on the back of him. From this point, you would think that Ivan would have seen that he was right there in that line, but obviously he thought differently, and both riders outside of the top 10.
Jeff, as we said before the start of the main, when James Stewart doesn't crash, he wins 100% of his main events to date. He's going for his 7th in a row, going for his 2nd championship. Can you think of an athlete in any other sport who's racking up the numbers like this man?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, especially in an individual sport like this. Stewart has just excelled. And
Tiger Woods doesn't win every golf tournament.
No, definitely not. And that would be who you would go to.
Because it's an individual type sport.
So right now, James Stewart showing that he definitely has the skill. He's done the work. He's made a switch to Yamaha. It has been the right switch for him. The team obviously giving him a great machine, and everything's clicking, bottom line.
Final lap. James said, I'm used to a lot of people saying things about me, and that's okay. He said, but what really made me mad this year was when people after Anaheim said my team isn't any good. The San Manuel team, he said, that really made him mad. And he's on a mission to prove to everybody that this San Manuel Yamaha crew is one of the best in the business under the leadership of Larry Brooks. There's no question about it. They dialed this bike in for James. It wasn't perfect at the beginning of the year. It's pretty darn good right now. And James Stewart is without question the best in the business. His 32nd AMA career Supercross victory. James Stewart takes sole possession of the points lead with another win. His 7th in a row as he takes the checkers here at Atlanta. Chad Reed, for the 7th race in a row, finishes 2nd.
That was a hard-fought 2nd, and that's going to keep the championship close. It's not what he wanted, but that was still a pretty good ride.
Villapoto and Short across the line in 3rd and 4th. Hepler with a tremendous ride for 5th. Here comes Tim Ferry, Kevin Windham, and Ivan Tedesco across in 6th and 7th. And James Stewart's former teammate back in his Kawasaki days, Tim Ferry, crosses the line in 8th in front of Josh Hill, who takes 9th. What a ride by James Stewart. Yeah, the San Manuel boys going to enjoy this victory. They'll load it up, go to Indianapolis, try to get another one.
Oh yeah, all them long hours in the race shop and out at the test track, this is where it all pays off.
James Stewart, the $1 million smile will be bright atop the victory podium. We'll have a chance to talk to him. Chad Reed had the sparkle in his eye after the heat. What will they be now? The championship fight continues. We'll be back to Atlanta to talk to them at the victory podium. Great performance tonight by James Stewart, and on the next all-new Bull Run with Bill Goldberg, alliances are formed. Team Evo becomes Team Evil for their cheating ways, and the Bull Runners must survive another Goldberg challenge before advancing to the next leg. Bull Run with Bill Goldberg, Thursday night, 10 Eastern, exclusively on Speed. Hey, here's the answer to our trivia question. Jeff, I think you probably know this one. Here's the final installment of that trivia question, your chance to win the 32-gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. We asked you who won the first Atlanta Supercross main. Well, it was the Hurricane.
That's
Bob
what I was
Hanna.
going to say.
March 5th, 1977, over at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium on a Yamaha. Remember, the winner gets a 32-gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. Thanks for playing, and congratulations to our winner. Let's go down to Aaron.
For a rookie, Ryan Villapoto was not intimidated to battle against a champion, or a defending champion, pardon me. But Ryan, you had said each and every weekend you're trying to learn from your mistakes. Do you feel that you're making progress?
Yeah, you know, it's been a decent season so far, and got a few podiums, and that's what I'm looking for. And you know, the team's been behind me 100%. You know, Team Monster Kawasaki and Jeff Fox Parts Unlimited, just all my sponsors. I just like to thank you guys for being behind me.
Congratulations on your third place finish.
So Ryan Villapoto up on the podium again. There's James Stewart being interviewed by floor announcer Terry Boyd. And we'll be right back. We'll be talking to him in just a minute. And there's the victory podium area here at the floor of the Georgia Dome. A lot of pictures being taken down there, interviews being done for the crowd here in the audience. The results, I think Kevin Windham kind of surprisingly snuck up to 6th, didn't he?
Yeah, but there were some great rides all the way through. I mean, for Chad to get second, for James to win, Villapoto short Hepler in the top 5. Pretty impressive.
Michael Leslie was 11th. Charles Summey had another crash and ended up finishing in 20th. Let's go back to Aaron.
Well, Chad Reed may have given up the points lead, but he is far from giving up. Chad, take us through this start. If only you could have had the start that you had in your heat race. It's like you lost a bit of ground right in the main event there.
Yeah, my heat race was awesome, and actually in the main event, somebody jumped the start. So actually, I was ready tonight. I was watching it, and the gate flinched, and I kind of flinched, and I just missed it. So I totally blew that. I just had to be smart in the first turn and try to come through. I made a lot of mistakes, almost crashed a few times, but we were able to get a second and minimize the damage. I felt good tonight. You know, I really enjoyed the track and the dirt, and it's a shame. I felt like I had a good battle with me tonight.
You had some competition out there again tonight, the number 2 of Ryan Villapoto. A little cat and mouse game going on between the two of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I could do. You know, just try to follow him and wear him down, and I've been in this for a while, so I knew that as the laps went on, I could just sit there and wait for a mistake. And I got by and made a mistake, and then the next lap he made a mistake at the end there and wasn't able to triple. So hats off all the guys on Rockstar Makita Suzuki. The bike was awesome today, and we felt a lot better and felt more competitive.
Chad Reed's a warrior. Consistency pays off.
Well, and that second place, Aaron, keeps the championship alive and is probably going to go all the way to Sam Boyd Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada, that first weekend in May. Jeff, you, Aaron, and myself are all going to be there as we wrap up this 2009 championship season. We sure hope you can join us there live at Sam Boyd Stadium. If not, you'll see it here on Speed, and it should be a great way to close out this 2009 season. Here's the point. Stewart now becomes the official points leader. We've had 3 different points leaders this year. Josh Grant led it for a few weeks, then Chad Reed, and now James Stewart has locked it all up for now, Aaron.
7 wins for the lucky number 7 at this point of the season. He takes over the points lead. James, at this point, what is it that's motivating you, and where's your drive? Where is it all stemming from?
Well, I still got a lot of work left, and I know the championship's far from over. And, for me, it feels good to climb back in the points lead. I just got to keep it going. But you know what? It's going to definitely be a good series, and I want all you guys to come out to the Indianapolis Dome next weekend. You guys are going to get for a fantastic race.
Congratulations again on your sweet success.
SpeedTV.com has the most comprehensive AMA racing coverage with expert analysis, videos, results, and news stories posted as soon as they become available. No one covers AMA racing better than SpeedTV.com. Go now and enter keyword AMA. Sure hope you enjoyed the live chat that was going on SpeedTV.com tonight, and more importantly, we sure hope you enjoyed our live coverage here tonight. Jeff, as I looked at Chad Reed again on the victory podium there, the eyes look different again.
Yeah, once again, disappointed.
Yeah.
Searching for those answers. He knew that he had made some improvements this week, but it still didn't translate into a win. It's got to be so frustrating because I know Chad Reed works hard. I know that the team works hard, but he's close. But it really came down to the drop of the gate. Like he said, Josh Hill jumped the gate. It made the gate flinch, distracted Chad Reed for just a second. That's where he lost the race.
Okay, we're in a stadium again next week, a dome, the new Lucas Oil Stadium in Indy, and then the big speedway at Daytona, two radically different places.
Yeah, well, this championship's far from over.
Yeah.
Stewart, definitely, he's on a roll. He looks unbeatable. But Chad Reed's going to keep digging deep like he always does. Stewart, though, he's been awesome. I mean, what do you say? You know?
Well, what you say is it's a great opportunity to watch one of the greatest athletes in professional sports these days, and quite possibly one of the greatest ever when it comes to racing Supercross. And it's a good time to pay attention and soak it all in. For Aaron Bates and Jeff Emick, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Atlanta. We sure hope you've enjoyed our live coverage of Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. Congratulations, James.